Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you guys the settings that I run on Warzone to get the best graphics and also the best FPS with the best response for my game. So we're going to start off with the display settings. I always play on full screen. It's just the best for me. It may be different for you. I have my screen refresh rate at 270, which is what my monitor is. I keep this at automatic so that it automatically adjusts to my monitor. My aspect ratio is automatic as well. If you scroll down to the NVIDIA latency, I keep that on plus boost. It's just what works best for my PC. Everybody's different. For the eco mode preset, I keep at custom. And we're gonna scroll down to the reduced menu render resolution. I keep that as native. Everything else is gonna be off. VSync's off. I don't play with VSync because I get like a little tearing, and I don't personally like it. So, excuse me, guys. I still got that pneumonia I'm getting over. We're going to move over to the quality tab. I keep my quality at custom because I have settings changed a little bit for myself. I keep my render resolution at 100 because that's what your monitor is going to be. My upscaling and sharpening is set to Fidelity FCAS. My NVIDIA DLSS preset is going to be Ultra Performance, AMD SR, Ultra Performance, and the two options in between are set to 100. Then we're going to go down to AMD. Excuse me. AMD FSR preset is Ultra, Intel Ultra, Performance Ultra, 100, 100. And then DLSS frame generation is off because that's all this is going to do is just going to create frames where you don't have them, and I don't need that. My VRAM scale target is 75, very refresh shading on, texture resolution on high, and then the texture filter on high as well. That's just because it just makes the videos look better. You can lower those two settings to get more FPS, but I keep them at high just because it makes my game look a little bit better for me. Depth of field off, detail quality low, particle resolution. You can play around with that if you want it to look a little bit better. I personally keep it on low because the less noise I get on my monitor, the better. Then we're going to scroll down to bullet impacts. I keep that on. And then effects on as well. Shader quality is going to be low. On-demand texture streaming minimal. Low texture streaming quality low. Shader quality very low. You could play with that again, but I keep it on very low because I want to reduce shadows more so that the game looks a little bit better for me. Screen space shadows off. The next one off. Ambient occlusion, we don't want that on. Screen off. Static reflection low. I personally don't like it because it kind of throws my eyes off. Tessellation off, quality off, deferred physics off, and all the other two is going to be set to off, and that's going to be the quality tab. Our view tab, the way we look at the game, I want the motion reduction preset set to off. My FOV is 113. I just kind of like it. It's like the sweet spot for me. FOV you want as affected. So what that's going to do is going to help. It's going to make you think the recoil is less than it actually is because of the way that the gun's going to ADS. It's not going to be like a gradual kind of thing. It's going to be like basically instant, and the field of view is going to adjust to that. Menu field of view is going to be on wide, third person on 100 or 90. Vehicle field of view is also going to be on high. Motion blur off, weapon blur off. These two are very important. First camera movement and third person camera movement is going to be 50%. You want that at 50% just to reduce how much your gun and your character actually moves. Third person ADS transition is going to be set to third person ADS. For me, that's a personal one. I don't have the inverted flashbang on, but if the white light bothers you, you can turn that on and it'll change it to black. Next, we're going to go to control settings. I play on default. However, I do have the triggers and bumpers flipped. I've always played like that. My sensitivity is on 1010. Controller vibration off. Bumper ping off. All that other good stuff's going to be off. My dead zone. I changed my dead zone. It's going to be a little bit different for everyone on the minimum, but the maximum, I changed my left stick to 60. So what that's going to do is going to make your tactical sprint engage faster. And then the rest is just going to be 100, 3 for the triggers. On the aiming tab, you're going to want to adjust all of these. Make sure these are 1 for 1. Everything's going to be standard. Look inversion on foot standard. You don't want to change that. Excuse me. Target aim assist on, ADS aim assist on, motion sensor behavior off, and then going into advanced settings. You're going to open this up. It's going to be standard for the first 3 options, And then when it says ADS sensitivity transition timing, you want this to be instant, third person assisted, dynamic response curve, and you want to make sure that the aim response curve slope scale is set to 100. Me personally, I play on 1010, so I adjust my first two sensitivities to be 6.5, which is going to bring me down to like a 6.5 sensitivity when I aim down sight with my iron sights or my 2 and 3 times. Next, we're going to go over to the movement tab. The movement tab is a little bit different. What you're going to want to do is set this to tactical sprint. And in here, you want the sprint assist delay, set that to 0. I personally like the sprint assist sideways. Some people don't. You can test these two out and change them. I have mantle assist completely off. It bothers me so much. I always die from it. So I completely turn that off. Crouch assist also off. Corner slice is very important. This gives you the option to when you're close to a corner and you ADS, your gun's going to cant side to side. That way you can engage the enemy without exposing more of your body. Excuse me. I have tap to slide. A lot of people play on hybrid. I personally don't like it. And then you can change the duration of the activation. So if you hold it, it's going to dive, but you can shorten that. I just keep it on medium because it's just what I've always played on. Automatic airborne mantle, I keep that off. Sprint and restore, I keep on. Some people play with it off, but I prefer it on. The maintain sprint while sliding, I keep that on. Auto parachute off. Mantle cancels reload, I keep that off. And then my vehicle advanced settings, I keep completely the same. I don't change. Advanced movement settings, the first setting is going to be toggle. Second one is going to be off. Third one off. Ground mantle, I keep on this one. Tactical sprint activation on single tap. That's for some of you guys who don't have the automatic sprint, so then you just have to tap the analog stick one time instead of twice. Plunging underwater free. Door bashing on. Then we're going to go over to the combat tab. It's a little bit different here. I keep mine on hold. Some people I've seen do toggle, which is a little strange, but these are the kind of standard settings that you should have. The big one here is going to be this one. This is like a personal preference. I prefer doing body shield over finishing move. And armor plate behavior, I want to apply all with a single tap of the controller. And then C4 detonation, I do 1 by 1. That way you can throw one C4 and explode it instead of having to throw both of them and then explode it. Equipment behavior, hold. And then advanced combat settings, excuse me. I do, this is lock to hold. I do sprint, tactical sprint, and focus. Instant weapon swap. This is a very important one. Interact, reload behavior. Prioritize interact. So this is going to prioritize you picking up stuff on the floor instead of reloading your weapon, or rezzing your teammate instead of reloading your weapon. Sprint cancels reload. I turn this off because I have a issue where I go to sprint while I'm trying to reload and it just cancels, and it just is like a never-ending cycle. Akimbo behavior, I keep as paired. So this is going to help you. Instead of having to push both triggers at the same time, you just have to push one and it'll fire both your pistols at the same time. ADS stick swap, I just keep on off. Depleted ammo switch, I keep personally on. And then if you scroll down, overlay advanced behaviors, directional buttons or stick. This is a personal preference. I just keep directional buttons, but some people play on stick. I keep the ping wheel on moderate. What this is, if you push it short, it's just going to activate your pinging or your scroll wheel faster. That's all it does. And then wheels behavior, I just keep on standard to hold. And we're going to move over to the audio tab. I keep my audio a little bit different. Some people like to have the dialogue higher than I do. I don't. Master volume is always on 100. Effects volume on 100. I turn the music down because that kind of just muds the sound of footsteps, which we already know they're very hard to hear anyway. And then for the speaker output, you're going to make sure that this is set to your main headset. And then this is going to be set to stereo. Advanced headphone mode. If you paid for this, you'll have this, but you don't need to. I'm going to show you some settings here in a second where it's going to help you get those good sounding footsteps without having to pay for it. So make sure that's off. Your audio mix. This was kind of a personal preference one. I prefer headphones. It's my favorite one. Mono audio, I keep off. Mute game when minimized, off. Music, licensed music, I also keep off. This is the important one. Asymmetrical hearing compensation. Turn this one on if you want to get good footsteps. And then you're going to go into configure frequency intensity. And then these settings right here, you're going to want to copy them. And what you're going to do is take these exact settings from left channel to right channel. So both of these are going to match. And then once you do that, your footstep audio is going to increase very much. Reduce tinnitus sound, I keep on, and I personally like the classic hit markers. Then we're gonna scroll over to the voice. I think with the bug where you hear everyone in game is the most annoying thing. So I keep this at 40 to try to lower everyone else's noise. Most of the time I end up playing with the in-game audio off because of how much people yell on it. And then you're gonna go voice chat on if you want to hear people or talk to people. Proximity chat, if you don't want to hear anybody in the game besides your teammates, you want to turn this off. Body shield chat, this is if you hold somebody in a body shield, you'll be able to talk to them or not. Last words chat, you could turn this off. So what this is going to do is if you get eliminated, you can say something at the very end, or they can say something at the very end to you. Game voice channel, all lobby. You can switch this to you want for party, friends, whatever you want. I just keep it to all lobby. This is going to be your main voice input device. For most of you guys, you're just going to have this auto select itself. My microphone level, I keep at 100. If your teammates are saying they're having issues where you're too loud, you can go in here and hit test, and you want to be around the middle portion. So when you're talking, you want to basically be from the word on to about here, nothing really higher, because then when you yell, it's going to go too much and you're going to get clipping in your microphone. And then this is optional. I do push to talk. Because I really don't use my microphone that much instead of having it open all the time. And then your microphone input device is going to be set to your main device.